There may be some guardrails on, but hopefully a lot fewer guardrails than we have now because we've got to a place where most people are vaccinated.
1,200 cases of the virus and 4 deaths were confirmed in Colorado today. 33,000 people received a dose of the vaccine. 1.2 million Coloradans are fully inoculated against the virus.
Armchair analysts have questioned why Major League Baseball would choose Colorado to host the game over Georgia, considering both states do have voter ID laws. Well, those people clearly aren't from around here. Georgia's law limits the use of drop-off boxes, forbids giving voters food and water as they wait in line, and strengthens requirements for voter ID. Now, Colorado does require some form of ID for the relatively small subset of people who choose to cast their ballots in person, but it accepts everything from driver's licenses to utility bills, Medicare cards. There's also the matter of voting by mail. In Georgia, you have to request an absentee ballot. As you know, in Colorado, they send it to you automatically.
It's not comparable. What the truth of the matter is that voters in Georgia, largely people of color, wait up to 12 hours in the rain, in the sun, to cast a ballot. What is true is that Georgia just passed the largest voter suppression package in the nation.
Colorado had the second highest voter turnout of any state in 2020. Only Minnesota did better.
All right, to the weather now and our first real thunderstorm of the season. Chief Meteorologist Mike Nelson's watching the radar and has details for us. Mike?
It's been a crazy afternoon. Let's take it back to lunchtime. It's what it looked like at City Park. Partly cloudy skies, but fast-moving storm systems moving into the area and brought us rain and snow, depending upon your location. There's the cold front that's moved through. The snow is falling heavily down in southeast Aurora, down Parker into Douglas County, Elbert County. Rain showers farther to the north in the Denver area, and it does break off pretty good off to the north of us now. So elevations above 6,000 feet west and south will pick up a quick inch or two of snow. Farther to the north, conditions will rapidly improve, but it's rain and snow and windy and colder this evening. Some wet roads, some low visibility, an inch or two on the grass, mainly above 6,000 feet. But this storm moves out fast, and I'll let you know how quickly temperatures bounce back to the 70 mark.
Thank you, Mike. A car crash went unaddressed for nearly 8 hours Monday because Arapahoe County deputies and Denver police couldn't agree who was responsible for the paperwork. Denver7's Ivan Rodriguez spoke with one of those drivers left waiting.
Even after explaining it, it's hard to comprehend.
It was out of a movie, literally. Who drives down a street and sees another car sitting on top of another car? That's just bizarre.
Around 2:30 Monday afternoon, this black Lexus turned onto South Drayton Way off of Iliff and somehow crashed into 2 cars, flipping one on its side. One of those cars belonged to Troy Wingler.
I was in my apartment. My roommate let me know that my car had been involved in an accident, and I came out to see that it's clearly been totaled.
And Troy's frustrations were just the beginning. At the time of this interview, police still hadn't showed up.
It's 8 o'clock at night. Happened at 3 o'clock. The police are still not here.
A security guard at the scene says the delays were because of confusion over which police agency should respond.
Crash investigator pulls up. He starts taking over it. He kind of gathers as much information as he can from us. He pulls up on his computer and goes, "Oh, this is actually Arapahoe County. According to my map, I can't actually deal with this."
Shortly after that, Arapahoe County arrived, claiming it was actually Denver's jurisdiction.
Whomever, just somebody help.
After nearly 8 hours had passed by, Denver police responded to clear the road and take down the report. In a statement, Denver police admits to the back and forth between Arapahoe County and says in part, "Our calls are prioritized by severity, which may explain in part why it took a while for our officers to respond. No injuries were reported, which would have lowered the priority. Still, the long response time doesn't make it any more tolerable for those who stood by for hours waiting."
Obviously, nobody's hurt. Nobody got hurt. But there's a car on the side of the road that's on the side of itself. Just figured that would be somewhat important.
The driver responsible for the crash left the scene. Denver police tells us that investigation is ongoing. Ivan Rodriguez, Denver7.
It is a full body workout.
Coming up, a Sermon on the Mount.
It just goes to show that anybody in the community can be part of a pulse studio.